I cannot believe anybody ever doubted Kubo. And I just noticed that. I just looked into the video, started the webcam, passed the fuck out. Okay, anyway, I can't believe anybody ever doubted Kubo, man. I mean, I always had faith. Watch any review I've ever done, I've always had faith, baby. Okay, anyway, so we start out this chapter. The two brothers, they're getting ready to, they're like, ready to fight, and Kabuto covers his eyes, explains that he's covering his eyes, and Sasuke's like, hey, you don't want us to genjutsu you. Unfortunately, for some reason, I don't know why, but when they all made eye contact when they got there, so I don't know why Itachi didn't just put him under genjutsu like as soon as they got there. That would have been a lot easier and smarter, but obviously for plot's sake, that couldn't exactly happen. So we start off with a little bit of foreshadowing of Itachi, telling Sasuke about how it seems that the snakes can clearly sense them and everything about them. And of course, Kabuto, or not Kabuto, I'm sorry, Itachi calls Sasuke Dr. Snakes, which is funny, but Sasuke, of course, justifies it, but he's like, because he said he did plenty of research in order to beat Orochimaru, which is weird, considering in the Sasuke-Orochimaru fight, it didn't seem like he did a lot of research, needing a lot of research, he just kind of genjutsu pwned him. But I guess, being the fact that Orochimaru was, very, very sick, it was just in case kind of thing. But anyways, Kabuto's like, you won't beat me by being Dr. Snakes! And makes the snakes grow, and they attack, Itachi and Sasuke, and a little bit of a battle ensues. And it starts out, the chapter as a whole starts out as like, I really wonder what's going to happen, because you never know what is basically going to happen with this. You got the two brothers, but the snakes attack them, and of course they whip out Susanoo, and they just start poning the snakes. A couple things that I noticed that were absolutely crazy. You can't exactly see it on Sasuke's, although it's implied because you can't see another arm. But definitely on Itachi's, you can see that Itachi's has 4 arms. One of the things that we thought before was that Susanoo only had 2 arms, and that the EMS gave it 4 arms. But apparently, the whole 4 arms thing from EMS, because we only saw it from Madara first, the 4 arms thing, so we were like, oh wow, extra set of arms and head if you get EMS. But apparently, I guess it's just an extra head if you get EMS, because this guy, Sasuke and Itachi's both also have 4 arms. So Kabuto's like, ooh, this is Susanoo. Pretty cool stuff. And of course, Itachi's telling Sasuke to be gentle and not kill Kabuto. So Kabuto then reveals that he learned some techniques by doing research, of course, obviously besides the snakes, by researching, let's start out with, what's his face, the water guy, Sugetsu, one of those things, about how to turn his bodily fluids and make himself become liquid. And it's like, it's spreading all over, and Itachi mentions how he can see chakra, however the fuck you want to pronounce it, all over the cave, and they can't tell which is the real one, so Kabuto basically has mastered Sujitsu's techniques of the Hozoku clan. Also, we find out that Karen is an Uzumaki because of the red hair. Which is a semi-surprise, but, it's cool to see that there's Uzumakis left over, so we might get, some history if Naruto or her, whatever, or Sasuke and her meet back up. Whenever she goes back, we might get some extra Uzumaki heritage history in the story, which would also be pretty cool. Still just pass the fuck out. Anyways, it would be definitely pretty cool, to get some more Uzumaki, like, how did they die, and the whole clan get, pwned and stuff like that. So we find out some stuff about Jugo as well. Where Kabuto goes into a bit more detail about Jugo's clan, where he's coming from, and he mentions that he was able to find the, I'm sorry if I don't know how to pronounce this correctly, but the Ryuchido, and Itachi's like, Ryuchido, no way! And Kabuto's like, yeah, I finally found it. It's a place equally legendary as the famous Mayoku Bazu-san, Bazakan, and Shikasori-san. And neither of those were pronounced correctly, obviously. I was being sarcastic in case some of you couldn't tell. And he talks about how him and Orochimaru-sama had dreamed to go there. And, another thing that is pretty cool that I'd like to point out is that Itachi knows about this place, because he's like, Ryuchido, no way! So, it's cool to see how Itachi has so much knowledge as well, because, him being able to find the legendary spirit items, like the sword and shield and stuff. And also knowing about that kind of place. So anyways, apparently it's basically the same exact thing, and Jiraiya wasn't the only one to know Sage Mode, neither are the frogs. We see a giant snake sage, and Kabuto talks about how he found the place, and this giant snake sage taught him. And I actually just noticed while looking at the snake sage's picture, he's got like a long head of hair. That's really kind of weird. Anyways, lol. I can't. Whoa, I just said lol. That's kind of weird. But something else people didn't notice, that behind the snake stage, the throne that he's sitting on, is actually a dragon. Um, it's a So later when we get on the chapter, I just like to mention that we actually do get to see a dragon. Son of a bitch! Why does this keep happening? Seriously, my camera, my webcam, I told you a couple weeks ago, the stand broke, and I was trying to fix it, but I just have it balanced on top of the computer. Anyways, so there is a dragon that we see what Kabuto might turn into, but we'll get to that. And he says, "I finally surpassed Orochimaru-sama," which is pretty cool. I mean, it sucks because, you know, we never got to see Orochimaru at full power, but I'm not even going to get into that conversation now. Anyways, Sasuke is rushing things a little bit, shooting Susanoo arrows at Kabuto, and Itachi's like, "Hey, yo, no hurry, Sasuke. Yo, just relax, chill, bro." And we actually get to see that Kabuto totally dodged the arrow. And he's like, "My perceptual ability has been upgraded so much. I have the force of nature to help me." And then from here, as soon as I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, no way, no way. And it's cool, by the way, just to see that all the animals, it seems, have their own sages in legendary places. So the frogs from Jiraiya had it, the snakes from Orochimaru had it, probably a slug one too. And I'd also like to point out that this whole thing sets Sakura up for a power-up of Sakura getting Sage Mode. Because, you know, Tsunade being the slug, or having the slug princess as her summon, the slug princess, she could give it to Hinata, or not Hinata, I'm sorry, Sakura, and Sakura could get Sage. But, you know, I'm just saying, probably won't happen, but it does set her up for a power-up if Kubo decides that it's needed. Or it's Kubo, yeah. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, it's not Kubo. What? Have I really been saying Kubo this whole time? I'm such a horrible person. I almost just said Kimimaru. Oh, I can't believe I can't remember the... Kishimoto! Kishi freaking Moto. I'm so sorry, Cube. I'm so... Whoa. That was bad. You guys are gonna hate me for that. I'm sorry. Anyways, Kishimoto. Anyway, so Itachi's like, the force of nature. I was right. So, Itachi knew what was coming. He knew it was Sage Mode. He's like, damn it, son of a bitch. And apparently, the Orochimaru had actually found the source of where Jugo's ability come from, which was the Roshiyoto, but he never had a powerful enough body to contain it. He just never had a powerful enough body. He couldn't get a hold of a powerful enough body to contain the power. So he's like, in the end, Orochimaru-sama couldn't even become a true sage just like me. And Kabuto shows himself, still wearing his glasses, his indestructible glasses, of course. And we see Kabuto's eyes, and Kabuto is in freaking Sage Mode, man. If you remember, Naruto in Sage Mode beat Pain. So, that's kind of crazy. Anyways, we end the chapter off with, Kabuto's like, I'm not a snake anymore, I'm a dragon now, and he does little, he's like, whoa! Sage techniques, Hugeki Jutsu! And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And it says, Kabuto turned on the most evil Sage Mode. This is going to be freaking crazy. A Dragon Sage. I mean, so basically, Kabuto now is like at least as powerful as Naruto was in Sage Mode, but more powerful. I'm guessing just more powerful from what we've seen of this so far. Obviously, has a lot more range of abilities and techniques, but I'm really excited for the upcoming chapters. So why don't you guys go ahead and post below how excited you guys are, what your theories are. All this crazy shit has been freaking awesome, and I'm enjoying this chapter as hell. Can't wait to see what he can whip out. The one thing I am wondering is if this is Kabuto's that jutsu that he talked about. Because when he's like, you know, as long as I have my Madara trump card and that jutsu, then I'm safe. So we don't know if the Sage Mode was that jutsu that he was talking about. If it was, it's definitely a sick reveal. If not, then he's still got another trump card up his sleeve, which will be crazy. So I guess we get to see how a Sage Mode compares against the Uchihas. However, I'm betting Kabuto will lose. He has to, because if a Sage Mode person could beat the two Uchihas like that, then obviously Naruto would never lose to Sasuke, considering he has Bijou plus Sage. So guess we'll find out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Please remember to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe.